Welcome back to It's a Woman's World. I am your host, Hafsa Adil. Before the break, we were talking about the incredible things that women have achieved and why they are so amazing. Women have achieved remarkable things throughout history and continue to do so on a daily basis. Yet, we still live in a society that seems to undermine, underestimate, victimize, scrutinize, degrade, and dehumanize our women regularly. Being a woman and growing up female automatically comes with its own endless list of barriers, rules, and unrealistic expectations. We are expected to meet a certain standard set for us and follow rules that dictate how we should act, to be deemed worthy, wanted, and useful. If you are a woman, I am most certain that you must have heard these phrases at some point in your life, whether you are young or old, and it has become so normal to your ears because we hear these things all the time. Things like, if you don't learn to cook, who will marry you? You throw like a girl, you run like a girl, you shouldn't behave like a boy, you're a girl. He's only mean to you because he likes you. You shouldn't dress like that. You might think that these things are harmless or trivial, but if you really think about it, it's teaching girls that they should behave or dress or speak in a certain manner or they are not worthy. We base a girl's worth on whether or not she's a good wife for somebody. We need to start telling young girls that they can be anything and do anything they set their minds to, and they can achieve all of their goals and dreams, whether it be getting a really good job, a great education, and build the life they want for themselves, instead of encouraging them to look for all these things in a man that they can potentially marry. Mothers and fathers, communicate with your daughters, elevate them, build their confidence, and encourage them to embrace their womanhood, be proud of it, and believe that they will be not held back by anything or anyone. Now imagine if there was a place in the world where women make the rules and are actually free to do whatever they want, whenever they want. I didn't think there was even a possibility until I read a story about a remarkable Samburu village in northern Kenya called Umoja. This village was founded by a woman named Rebecca Lolosoli. She came up with the idea of a women-only village while in a hospital recovering from a beating by a group of men who were angry that she dared to speak about women's rights in her village of Samburu. The people of Samburu are extremely patriarchal, which means that men make all the big decisions for the entire village and women are only allowed to speak occasionally or express any opinions. As a result, women were genitally mutilated, child marriages, abuse, and violence against women was normal, and they suffered at the hands of this patriarchal system for centuries. So when Rebecca was beaten, she decided to start Umoja, providing refuge and a safe haven for all women escaping abusive environments. Men are not allowed in the village, and if they do enter with ill intent, they are chased out. The women built houses with their own hands using mud and sticks and cow dung. They made jewelry and beads to sell to make money. Samburu men were not pleased that women were running things, so they would beat them up and they would steal their money if they were seen outside of the village. The women still kept fighting and working until they gained financial independence. They make their livelihood selling beautiful, colorful, handcrafted necklaces and bracelets. Their business is thriving, and they even use the money to open schools for children from all surrounding villages as well as their own village, for boys and for girls, to change the future of these children. Note how I said boys too, because it's important to instill these values in boys and girls. Rebecca hopes that the children of the village grow up having a bright future ahead of them by giving them the education that they need. These strong, tough women are also in charge of their own safety, so they stay up all night in shifts to protect each other from angry men or former husbands of the women who live there that come from surrounding villages. Despite all these challenges they are facing, they stay stubborn and undefeated. Other villages in surrounding areas have also started a matriarchal society after being inspired by Umoja. Men are allowed in these villages as long as they reject traditional societal views and follow the rules that the women instill. These men learn from the women and understand and believe that women and men are equal and there's no need for a patriarchy. They do housework and other jobs that would typically be a woman's job freely. The women in these villages hope to eradicate female genital mutilation altogether and child marriages, and they are working towards that goal daily. Let's hope that they achieve that goal and the next generation of Samburu girls have the rights to live how they want, get an education, and eventually lead a very good life in where they make all of their dreams and goals come true. This story shows that despite what society dictates, women they will thrive and they will grow on their own without needing a man imposing rules all the time. The Samburu women of Umoja have proven that they're survivors without having any of the technology that we have available to us in our daily lives. And if that doesn't inspire you and make you proud, I don't know what will. Thank you for listening to my story. I would like to end with an empowering poem by Michael Reed, author of Dear Woman. He says, "Dear woman, sometimes you'll just be too much woman, too smart, too beautiful, too strong, too much of something that makes a man feel like less of a man, which will make you feel like you have to be less of a woman. The biggest mistake that you can make is removing jewels from your crown to make it easier for a man to carry. When this happens, I need you to understand that you do not need a smaller crown. You need a man with bigger hands." Thank you so much for watching this episode of It's a Woman's World. It's been a great pleasure being your host. I will see you next time. Goodbye.